Hi everyone, it's Nancy here, just back with another process video for you. Just going through some of the scraps that are on my desk that I tried to use up from the previous layout. This layout is going to be a little bit different from some of the other ones you've seen me do, because it's going to include four 4x6 photos. So here I am just using the Dear Lizzie Polka Dot Party pad of paper. I'm just pulling out one of the sheets I've already cut up here. I mean, both of these I have used on previous layouts, so just going through and taking them out. I've used this kind of chalkboard pinstripe effect here, and those are my 4 photos that I'm going to try and use on this layout. I mean, this is quite a sort of standard way that I'd use 4 photos on a layout, and this is more of what I'd call like an introductory page to sort of another series of pages. So here I am just going through the various bits of paper that I pulled out. I've just cut a line of those cameras off, and then this is just another piece from the cut apart sheet. I wouldn't actually use it as is, so I'm just cutting it up because the colours match. Here you'll see I actually have a bit of an issue with my photos. Even though I ordered these online and they are supposedly 4x6, they don't quite fit on this piece of paper. So here I am just turning the piece of background paper around, but again they still don't fit. So what I'm actually going to do is just end up cutting off one of the edges just so they fit flush across the piece of paper. So these are 4 photos which again are from my American album, and they're pictures I took while my boyfriend was driving. This is when we were driving from LA across to Vegas. And there's sort of many other pages that are going to go on after this, because as I say, we've done 2 road trips when we were in America. The first one from San Francisco to LA, and then this one from LA to Las Vegas. So just building up sort of 2 points where I'm going to embellish. Yes, as I said, this layout was pretty quick. It took me about 40 minutes to make. I like this style because, as I say, I like putting all the photos together. And as I say, it's a good sort of introductory page. So this will kind of briefly just say where we were going, and like the date. And then the other photos, the other layouts that will follow this, and I've also got some page protector pages as well that will kind of make up this album. If anyone is interested in seeing how I lay out my albums, then just leave a comment below, and I can do a video to show you how I mix up my layouts, some journaling pieces, and also the pocket pages. Again, I'm just using some bits from the cut apart sheet there. This doesn't, the blue is picked up as on the bottom label there, and I'm not really going to probably use that anywhere else, so it just makes a good sort of background cluster. Again, just trying to find out if these kind of will look good on there. But that bit's too bright white and the rest of the papers are cream based. So just going to add that blue in there to echo with the bottom blue. As I said, I mean, this is a really, simplistic layout. It hasn't got anywhere near the same amount of layers that I would normally use on a layout. But as I say, it's good when you just want to get photos down on a page, get the stories told. So here I am just adding some vellum to the top and bottom layers, just trying to work out where that's going to go. And as you see, I'm sort of trying to use up that pile of scraps. I think I'm going to get to the point in a few layouts where if it hasn't been used, I'm just going to dump it. So there's some Project Life cards I pulled out previously. That's a bit of October Afternoon Travel Girl. So here I am deciding that I'm going to overlay a bit of vellum over the top photos there. As I said, the photo's not, it's not an amazing photo. There's other photos which show, the road trip more clearly. The bottom left photo, as you see, it's not actually the best photo. It's the windscreen wipers of the car going across, and I kept getting really annoyed at my boyfriend because I was trying to take photos, even though it was raining, and he kept having the windscreen wipers on. So I kept having to tell him to turn the windscreen wipers off so I could get a photo of the rainy roads. Luckily, he kind of understood, me being a scrapbooker, that I wanted to document everything. And this is actually, as you'll see later when I do the title on this layout, this is basically, what this layout's about, that he understands that his job is driving and mine is taking photos to scrapbook. Just having a bit of a problem with my glue here. I keep forgetting to put the lid on it, so it does keep sort of sealing up there. So I'm just laying the vellum over that piece of October Afternoon, so just, creating another sort of layer. I've decided part of my title is going to go on that piece. And what I add to one cluster, I like to add to the other. So just trimming off the excess there. And so the photos, I will put some glue underneath them later because, as I say, they're not glued down in the middle. So I've just taken out my doily stash and I've gone with one of the light grey doilies. So I'm just going to have to trim a little bit off that one. It's just adding a bit of texture to each of these areas. I end up having to pull up and cut up this layout because I just couldn't get the layers out. Something I have found with these Dear Lizzie papers, once you sort of start something down, they do stick quite quickly. I mean, some papers I find that you can sort of pull bits up and it doesn't actually pull the pattern off, but these papers are slightly thinner, being from a paper pack. So that's something I just have to be slightly wary of. As you'll see earlier, when I ripped the photos off to change it round, it did pull up the layer of paper. So here I am just going through some of my flare and buttons that I keep in this tin. Just deciding, if I want to put some buttons on there. I then pick out this paper clip, which you can't see from the photos, but it's actually got a map design on. But I couldn't really get that to work. It's been in my stash for ages, it will eventually get on the layout. So I decide that they're not going to work. Still got these chipboard frames out, so I was going to try getting those on. And then this is just a bit of washi tape. So it's a grey with kind of a see-through polka dot on. Normally the glue is alright, but for some reason on that vellum, sticking it on top of that paper caused the glue to show, so I just stuck a bit of the washi tape over the top of that, just to cover that glue marks up. So here I am thinking, what do I need? I need some embellishment. Starting looking for my title stickers. They're Amy Tangerine, but the black doesn't really work. There's nothing else black on the layout. It's all quite muted greys. I go with this basic grey chipboard alpha. I believe these are from an old Studio Calico kit. They are all lowercase, but I think the colours work really well. So my title is You Drive, I Document, which was kind of the agreed between us. As I said, I also was navigating as well, so I was in charge of the sat nav, or the GPS as some of you might know it as. So yeah, that's my title, and I kind of split the title up over those top two layers. I do like these chipboard alpha, but I do find them quite small. But as I say, they kind of work for this page. The colours work well. The photos itself are actually quite dark, so the whole muted sort of part of this layout, you know, the whole layout colour scheme works quite well. I'm probably going to do a 12 by 6 page that goes with this, which will just be documenting the drive, how long it took, how many miles, that kind of thing. So that will be going by the side. I'm not going to do it with this layout. It's something I'll go back and do. As I said in previous videos, I tend to leave all my journaling till one part, till the end, and I've got about 30-40 layouts, and I'll put them all in the albums. I actually had a journal which travelled with us across America, and that has a lot of my journaling and details and itinerary and stuff like that. So when I sit down to do my journaling, I just pick that out and sit down with that. So yeah, just sticking the title down over those two clusters. I do find these chipboard letters do peel apart quite easily. I had a couple of ones where I peeled the backing off and actually pulled the whole chipboard off as well. You can see I'm having issues with this one. So that's my only problem with these. You do get a good mix on these sheets though. I'm not sure if they're available to buy or if they were just an exclusive to the Studio Calico kits. I do prefer, actually, out of all letter stickers, I do prefer foam stickers. I just think they look nicer. So I really could have sped this up because it's not the most interesting watching me peel off little leather stickers. As I say, this was a really quick layout though to make, because basically the photos are the main part of the layout. Here I am just using my beloved Poké tool to stick the dots to the eyes on. Then I decide that I actually want to use the speech marks over these two, because as I said, it was something that, I said when we were sort of planning what we were going to do. And say, luckily, my boyfriend is quite easygoing and he agreed. So just sticking those tiny little speech marks up there. And say, I don't know what I'd do without my Poké tool now. So, sorry, there's not really much I can say about this because I am just putting my letter stickers on. So that's that. Then I think that it is looking a little bit flat. So you're going to see me reach for my embellishment shortly. As I said, the buttons and things I'd already tried didn't work. They were the middles out of some of the letters, looked a bit like sort of enamel dots, but I decided they didn't really work. So here I am going through my small wood veneer box. So these are the ones that accompany me to the crop. So there I found out just two of the potty people, and then I find one of the little cars. I really need to buy another pack of those transport ones. I think you can still get them. I've just used them so much on my travel layouts. So just putting those away, and I decide that the colour on these is just a little bit too, doesn't look right, so I just decide to get out my white. There I am, just getting a stamp set out, thinking I was going to add a stamp set, but I don't. So I'm just getting out my white Dylusions, just to put a layer over these two. I mean, it goes on quite bright, but actually when it dries it kind of sinks into the wood quite nicely and just kind of gives them a bit more of a whitewash effect. So just adding those over the two potty people and then the car, just to tone them down so they'll go better on the layout, and that's just going to go on each of the little clusters. Again, using my water brush there, which really needs to be washed out. I didn't add any ink, so here I am just adding some ink over. When I'm working on, like, a big sort of photo, I don't tend to sort of add ink beforehand. So now I'm just adding a few sort of purposeful dots. And now just gluing on my wood veneers. So I will journal in that little bottom box there. But then there will be an accompanying piece of that. So just want to say a big thank you for watching another process video. And I know it's a little bit different to something I normally do. So please comment below if you like this layout and would like to see more of this kind of thing. And I'm just going to post up some close-up pictures of it. So thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you again soon. Bye!